Good morning. It's Wednesday. We're here. We're doing it, and I still haven't gotten a haircut. That's gonna happen soon. We're gonna chop a lot of this hair away. I'm getting wings on the sides. It's nice. But I am here. I just noticed that I broke something. I am here to build some cool stuff. That is what I am interested in doing today. And apparently, I screwed up the font on the viewers. So let's change that to black. Maybe. There we go. Oh, there's 7 of you here. Thank you. That's nice. Good morning, LJ. Good morning, Kevin Evans. I am working on so many things. Too many things at once. One of them that I haven't even really spent a lot of time talking to you guys about is I have a little raspberry. Cover my face. That always lets the focus happen. I have a nice little Raspberry Pi here. And this contains basically every video game ever made before, I don't know, 1999. It's amazing. I'm using some software to emulate all the games on there. And I didn't build any of that stuff, right? There's a thing called RetroPie that allows you to run all sorts of cool stuff. And so I've got NES games, Super Nintendo, N64. I've even got like fake. Hold on. Fake controllers. Now these don't look fake. I mean, they look like controllers. They are controllers, but they have USB instead of the normal proprietary controller connectors. And so I've been playing with that stuff quite a bit. Just playing games or whatever. I think if I'm doing it in the evenings, I think I might just start streaming some of the games because that's kind of fun to do. Karthik is here and he's already got the lamp red. Thank you for doing that. You guys may notice that when he changed the lamp red, I actually I updated the bot a little bit. It actually tells him that that happened. So we're getting a response. It's not actually accurate because if it errors or somebody tried mauve yesterday. So if I try to do mauve, it doesn't work, but it'll tell you it did. Uh, Boom. So if I do something like lamp mauve, oh, it didn't respond. Well, that's something new. But if I do lamp blue, it does respond. Well, okay. So I guess that works. I don't actually know how it's doing that. I thought I had hard coded it, so it just does it every time. But all right, we'll live with it. Maybe that's not as big a concern as I thought it was. So when it works, it'll respond to you, and when it doesn't, it won't. What if I do like a random hex color? Lamp 00 FF00. Okay. Awesome. All right, I'll take it. So that we're going to call that a win today. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Just kidding. So there's a few other things that I've added, and I actually need to check and see what my audio output looks like here. Because we have been talking a lot about sound effects and how a lot of that stuff will work. So I'm going to put on my headphones just for a moment, just to make sure this is working. And if I do something like 2319, why don't I hear that? Shouldn't we hear that? Shouldn't that just work? Is the bot running? That's always a good question, too. The bot was running. Why didn't it play the sound? Well, let's check that. So if we come over here and look at everything, this is my bot code that I continue to work with and play with. And I did some things on Monday afternoon to make some changes to this. We had talked about being able to let people play audio, let people import videos. And if you'll recall on Monday, we even got it to the point where when you say something like sound effect, and you have to pass in a few values. They are a YouTube ID, the command name you want, a start time, and an end time. And I think I'm actually going to flip these two. I think these maybe don't make as much sense in that order. But then I can. So let me do that right now, because we haven't really defined any of this stuff yet. So that's 0, and then I want this to be 0. Okay, and that's all I'm doing right now. So anyway, so if I want to play a sound effect, let's see what that looks like. If I come in here to sound list, no, here. So the first thing that I do is I check and say, that's why, because I'm, or can approve. So I have this can approve function that I built, and I have a list of things that allow you to be approved to be able to do this. But one of them is that if you're me. Okay, so let me walk you through kind of what we've structured and how we have this stuff built right now. I got to get this wire out of my way too. There's a couple of things. So it used to be that we could play any sound effect we wanted by just saying exclamation point and the name of a sound effect. And I have a whole file library of all of these sounds, right? So we could say any of them and they would just work. And then I went and decided to break everything because that's who I am. And in doing that, what I've done is change this. W. Giorgio, good morning. Thank you for being here. It's always good to see everybody. The conversation's always happening. Yiddish Ninja is here. My goodness, he's up early. That's a 7 a.m. call time for him. And Greg, I'm glad you're here. Thank you for tuning in. So anyway, so the way this chatbot was designed is if you start your command with an exclamation point, and it didn't match one of my earlier commands, then I want to be able to play a sound effect, but I only want to be able to do it if you use a specific set of types of commands. So I'm going to come here to Twitch, and I'm going to go to my channel. Gold Zulu does not sleep, it appears. He's always awake. We don't actually want to hear the stream. But what we do want to do, let me shrink this down. So the Twitch bot does his work for him. That's brilliant, Karthik. So down here we have these, let me bring this up a little bit so you can see everything. We have these channel points, right? And so I can come into the channel points and I can say, play a sound effect. This is a new reward we have here. And if I do this and I say 2319.
2319! We have a 2319!
Can you guys confirm that you heard that? I think you should have heard that, but that is the new way we're going to do this. Okay, you guys were able to hear the 2319. Great. So the way that this works is you can see that you have these channel points, these Blanken points, and this is a new reward that you can use now. So you can cash in 100 points anytime that you want to be able to listen to a sound effect. Now the thing that didn't work, and the thing that we need to check here, is on when I do it, when I, Jeff Blankenburg, do it, I should be able to do it without using channel points. So I should be able to say angry cat, and there it is. Okay, so I didn't have to use channel points because I'm me. But there are a couple of other things. Gold Zulu is going to hammer me with some points. Yeah, I wanted to keep it affordable, but I wanted to limit it so that we're not just going crazy. I've seen some other people that have done interesting things with this, and they've actually built their own economy. But I feel like we already have these channel points, and I don't have a substantial number of things that you should do with those points. So I thought sound effects was kind of a fun way to do that. But there's a few other things that I've built into this. So if any of you would like to play sound effects, one of the things that we need to do is figure out a way to give people a list of what are those things. Greg, you made me... I forgot my water again today. It's 115 now? What is 115 now? Does the price go up? Ooh, Karthik. Redeeming Blanken points for the Pop collection. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. It's a nice idea. But I just shipped you something yesterday, and so I can assure you I will not be shipping anything to you ever again. Because it is not... I mean, I know we're in the middle of like the whole quarantine pandemic thing, but I shipped out boxes to our team. Karthik's on my team if you guys didn't know that. And they had some cool Alexa sweatpants in them and a sweatshirt. And everybody else that I sent it to, this was pre-quarantine, but it was probably, I don't know, between $20 and $50 to ship this box. And this was all over the world. Karthik, I will assure you, it was not in that range to send it to you yesterday, which is fine. Like it'll be expensed or whatever. But I was quite surprised by the expense to send it to you. It was more than $50. Anyway, that is not the point of what we're talking about today. And one of the things that I really want to understand from all of you is what else we can be doing here. So let me walk you through the rest of this. So you guys can see what's happening with the bot right here. And in here you can see these are all the messages that are coming through my chatbot. So I'm logging a few things as they happen, and one of them is this context object. So this context tells me everything about the message you just sent. Who you are, what your status is. Some of you notice have diamonds next to your name. That means you're a VIP. That's going to get you some special status here in just a little bit. Some of you have a green sword next to your name. That means you're a moderator. So that means you have the ability to moderate this chat. So you can actually go in and like block people, ban people, stuff like that if people are getting out of control. Those are generally, if you see a green sword, that means that you are one of my teammates at Amazon. But I'm treating VIPs and moderators kind of the same in the status that I'm using for this stuff. And we'll use those to like apply admin rights, I guess, to some of the things that we're going to do here. So for those of you that are VIPs, you're going to have special cool powers. But we'll get into that here in just a second. Kevco725, good morning. Thank you for being here. And so this is where we start, is with this context. And so I want to go back and find the one that I sent, which was the one with channel points. That would have come from the Blankenbot, Jeff Blankenbot. Gold Zulu, Kevin Evans, Jeff Blankenburg. Where is the message that I sent? That's been a while ago, I guess now, huh? W. Giorgio, P. Karthik, Jeff Blankenbot. So here's the one that came in. And you can see this context that's sitting right here. So let me copy this just because the screen might scroll on me and I don't want to lose it. So we'll just open a new file so we can look at this. And for those of you that watched the office hours yesterday, I figured out how to do word wrap with a keystroke. Very excited. I'm proud of myself. So this is what a context object looks like for a person when they chat. And so you can see that I have their display name. I also have their username. Username is all lowercase all the time. Display name may have different capitalization. If someone like JB Nunn is here, he has the JBN capitalized in his name, so that would be reflected here. But then there's also things like user type. And so I can see in this context object, every time you send a message in, I can see that whether or not you're a mod. And this is live and dynamic. So every single message that comes in, if I were to remove your moderator status, this would immediately be gone from your next message. You can also see we have badges, things like badges raw, moderator 1. And I'll show you what a VIP one looks like too. Let's see, W. Giorgio just sent a message. So you can see in here that he has a VIP one right here. And I think that there's also another flag in this code somewhere that indicates somewhere in here that indicates I am 340 points away. W. Giorgio spent 4K to get me one, but I missed it. I could still do it. I could still honor that, but I feel like maybe it's weird. Maybe it's not weird to let other people buy it for you. I feel like you got to earn it yourself. And Jeff Nunn, 340 points away. I feel like you're so close we can get there. So anyway, this is the data that I'm using to make a lot of these decisions. And one of the things that stands out is this piece right here. Yeah, I wish I could give him his money back because that's like 40. It's like 40 sound effects. It's a lot. This custom reward ID that I have in the context, this directly maps to the thing that we were just looking at a second ago, which is this play a sound effect. So if you use this and you pass in a sound effect command at the same time, you'll be able to play the sound effect. It'll cost you 100 points, but it's looking to make sure that you not only did it while you were using the reward, but also were you a VIP or whatever. And so that's the logic that we see here. This is some of the stuff that I built on Monday afternoon because I was super excited about this. So you can see here, if in your context you have a custom reward ID that is this specific ID, this is the unique identifier for play a sound, Um, what's happening? Karthik rejected the redemption. Did you get the 4K back? Oh, that's awesome if you got the points back. Yeah, it's kind of fun to see the chat coming through here. I actually feel like I should build a little thing that will do like on screen so we can just see the chat floating there. But you guys all have the chat on the screen, and I have it here in my mod view. So yeah, I feel like that may be redundant to do that. But anyway, so we check and see, did you use that reward or are you an approver? So this is another benefit you get to being a VIP or a moderator here on this channel, is that you'll be able to play sound effects for free because you are people that I trust, and maybe I'll have to change the rules in the future. Maybe that's something that we have to do. But let me show you what the can approve function looks like, because I'm just passing in that whole context object. So I'm checking, is your context Jeff Blankenburg? If it is, great, awesome, that's you. Then I'm looking in your badges raw, and I'm checking to see if you're a VIP. If you're a VIP, great, return true. Or if you're a mod. If you're a moderator, you get your own property right there in that context. And at that point, I also return true. So for each of those statuses, I'm just going to let you play those sounds for free. But if you want to use your points, you can. But this limits those people that just show up occasionally and want to like blast us with sounds. They're going to have to use their points to do that. Now, I feel like for those of you that are here actively and do a lot of stuff, one of the things that may be holding you back, because I notice you guys don't actually play a lot of sound effects. You're not making any effort to like play sounds, do stuff like that. So I'm always curious if this is even something that I should be investing time in. Is that something that's fun? One of the things I was thinking is the first time you chat each session, that you could have like your own walk-on sound, right? Like it announces like, hey, W. Giorgio's here, or whatever your sound effect might be. That requires more tracking, because now I have to say, oh, this is their first message, and I don't want to do it on future messages. So there's some logic that I would have to write there. W. Giorgio says, in the mod view, channel actions review requests. Oh yeah, nice. So if you guys haven't seen the mod view, it looks like this. And there's channel actions, which are kind of blocked. But we can, let me see, let's review the request queue and see what's in here. It says there's none, so you guys must have cleared them out. Thank you. So moderators, thank you for doing that. Whatever just happened seems to be working. But anyway, that is how all of this kind of economy is going to work. And then I have to figure out what to do with those of you that are regulars that are going to end up with thousands of points. Maybe, I don't know, maybe that's not something I should do. Maybe instead I should say, if you want to play a sound effect or do any of these extraneous commands, maybe it's not can approve, because that's another step we're going to get into. But maybe it should be everybody has to use their points. The problem is I can't use my points, so I'd have to have another function, which we can do pretty easily, which is just this. And we'll do this. This is just going to be is me. Is me. And actually, maybe I don't even need that. I think I can do... No, because okay, so we got to do this. Function is me context, and this is just going to check the first status here, this thing. So because I don't have channel points, I guess I have infinite channel points. Maybe I can just do it that way. If I want to play a sound effect, I'll model the behavior, right? So if we come in here and I want to do something, I could say play a sound effect, and I could say angry cat, and it works just fine. So maybe we make everybody use their points. I think that's probably the right thing to do. So if I take this out, I think I added this can approve primarily just so I could do it, but let's take that out, and Our bot is back up and running, and now you have to use points to be able to use sound effects. And so I'm curious, I need your feedback on this. Tell me about, like, are you guys just being polite, or maybe you're passive viewers? But I've noticed as we've been building this stuff that I haven't really had people blasting me with sound effects, even when they were free. Is this something you guys think is fun or cool? Because I think it's kind of fun. And it's nice to be able to hear like interaction as people are... yeah, so Gold Zulu, have you figured out a way to send a whisper? Because I have not found a way to do that. What I started with was I have this command called sound list. And in here, I was getting a list, and then I was responding back. Actually, I need to turn this off. Oh, no, it's fine. Sound list will just give you... It gives you the first one alphabetically, or in the list. Maybe it's sorted by date. But the goal would be for me to whisper a message to you that is a list. Yeah, I can do a /W here. I totally agree with you. So everybody can see this, if I do /W Gold Zulu, hi there, that sends a message to Gold Zulu privately. It's just a whisper. But it doesn't appear that bots can do that. And I have given this a try more than once. So let's do this. If I do /W, Gold Zulu, by the way, did that whisper come through? I want to confirm that actually worked too. But if I save that file, I don't think the bots can send whispers, unfortunately. So it's just that you guys need a list. I can make that happen. I think we can do that. Where we'll just have to find a way to produce this, because it's like 1,000 sound effects right now. It's a lot. And maybe it's just that it's too many, but I feel like it would be really useful to be able to do this. So you got that message. So now I'm going to change it. I changed my bot, so I have a /W here. So what I should see is if I do sound list, if I could type. My bot is moderated. It is a mod. Yeah, so that didn't come through or did it come through as a whisper? Nope, see, that's Gold Zulu whispering back to me. That's what I was hoping it would be. I didn't get a whisper from my bot. Now, I don't know why. It doesn't error out, it just doesn't happen. If I come to here and we look at where I send sound list, I don't know if there's just limitations on the ability to send a whisper, but yeah, I think Sad Trombone seems like a really good one. So let's talk about some of the other stuff that's going on with these sound effects, because there's other stuff that I've built already, and we need to start playing with this stuff too. So to talk about this, to play a sound effect, you now have to spend 100 channel points, and that works. That works right now. One of the things that we don't have working is this, which is the give you a list. And I feel like we're going to have to give you a link. I'm going to have to send you a URL that is like a page where you can see a list of all the sound effects. So how could I do that easily? Yeah, W. Giorgio, it's not going to just work like that. You are going to have to use your points to do so. Like I did here. If I choose play a sound effect, and in here I add the command angry cat. That should work. But you will have to use the 100 points to do it. I think... How do I want to do this? You just sent one that wasn't in there. Oh, I see. Yeah, you sent !error. So error is not in there. We'll need to get one. We'll need to create one. And that's some of the other stuff that I've started building. So There you go, Gold Zulu. Nice work. So I have to figure out how to produce a list and make this accessible to all of you so that we have all of the right data in the right place so that you can see the long list of commands. And ideally, they'd be alphabetical. Well, let's start with that. So I am creating this list. I have this whole, like, this is the code to basically get the list of files. I just think Gold Zulu, I just think it's too many. Like, there's 1,000 plus, 1,033, I think, right now. And so I feel like doing an overlay certainly would work, but I still have to get the data to the web. So the first step is to somehow update a. I think I just figured it out. I could have. Let's look at this. Maybe we could do it this way. Airtable.com. This is a website that I use for all sorts of data solutions for my Alexa stuff. And I feel like if we come down here to Jeff Blankenburg, we'll use this. Let's also clear this out. This has to have way too many records now. There's 1,400 records. Goodness, I don't need these. Especially because most of them are me just testing stuff. Okay. So one of the things that I could do is create a new table called sound effects. And I don't know that I want to insert each one of them individually, but I think I can do it as a bulk upload. We could do record ID here, so I don't need this field. No, I'm not going to. Yeah, I'm going to do it that way. Am I going to do it that way? So this would be something like Angry Cat. I'm trying to think about how this model would work. And then I think what I can do with this table, that actually might be all that I need. And do I want to update the list every... Yeah, I probably do. So let's lose this field. Let's lose this field. And I think I can do... We have these awesome things called views in here. But there's a way to, like, share a view. Create a shareable view. Allow viewers to copy data. That's fine. Embed this view on your site. And it looks like that. And this would allow you to filter them down and sort, search. This might be the way. So what I could do is if I could use card layout on desktop. Oh, I don't want that. Okay. So I wonder if I could just take this piece. Well, it's not even going to let me do that. If I take this piece, maybe I could use this as a... No, a screen overlay isn't really what I want to give you. I just want to use this URL. So what I could do here is I have that web page. I think if I just drop this here, right, it should just, like, give me access to that view. Oh, yeah, that's going to be nice. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go into my code, and when you say sound list, I'm going to still do this, and we're going to do a thing, but what I'm going to respond to you with is just going to be that URL. And you click on it, and you can see the whole list. This is a good starter kit. This is I think we'll get better at this. We'll figure things out. We'll have more ideas. I want to change my file list so that I'm doing this the right way. And I have my list of files. I need to see... let's do a console log file list. Just just to confirm that I'm sending the right data. File list. And let's see what we get with that. So if I now say here, if I say sound list, nope, gotta spell it right, sound list, I get a link back. But the thing that I really want to see is what did it do? It gave me all the names of the files with the MP3 on the end. That's not what I want to happen. So I should also do another one of these because I just want to make sure that I have the right data before I send this all up to Airtable. And what I'll do is update that tab. I'm probably not going to do it here. I'll probably just respond with the link. It's Litany is raiding. Thank you for the raid, all 4 of you, for being here. I am in the process of building a chatbot, and we're doing things with sound effects and changing the color of my lamp behind me and building a way for people to spend their channel points. So stick around if you guys want to be here. Always appreciate a follow, too, if you've got it. We're doing a lot of fun stuff here with chatbots and voice and a number of other things. So it's Litany. Thank you for being here. So we're gonna go clean and see if that doesn't actually do the thing that I want it to do. So let's give that a try. So if I say sound list, I get my link. That's great, but I don't think that it's cleaning this the way that I want it to. Let's take a look. My goodness, that's a lot of sounds, isn't it? File list. You know what I don't see anywhere is file list clean. What's going on? File list clean. And I'm putting the exclamation point in, but I'm not removing the MP3 for some reason. And then I also have this DS store that is going to need to go. So we're gonna learn a little bit here. We're gonna do some new stuff. We're using this command in our code, which is fs.readdir, read directory, and so I'm gonna do fs.readdir options because I'm guessing I can do things like alphabetize the list. At least maybe I can. If I can't, then I will read this. Can I give it any options? Like, oh, with file types. That's exactly what I want. So in the so I have path, comma options, comma callback, and so I wish I saw an example of this. That would be really helpful. So I think all we need to do is here in I have this, and I think I just need with file types. Was it with file types? Yeah. Okay, so let's see. Oh, if I don't want, I see. It's a Boolean value. It's not. I thought I could say like I only want MP3 files, but it's actually just like, do I want the file types? And I don't think that I do. So this can actually be false. Okay. Let's give that a run. And so if I do sound list, it's Litany with the follow. Thank you. Greatly appreciated. We are trying to make our way to 500, at which point I will be doing an entire episode as an X-Wing pilot. And I will tell you, I'm ready. I have the things that I need. I'm not willing to show them on air yet. We're going to save that as a surprise. But I have a helmet. I have the jumpsuit. I'm ready to go. So let's get us to 500. I'd really like to do that. Sound list. We get our list. Still see. I mean, it's working, so I guess that's good. But yeah, it's not. Mr. Rogers when I hit 750. Mr. Rogers. We do have Mr. Rogers on the shelf over here somewhere. Where did he go? Oh, he's up on top. I can't really reach him. But he's standing there and he's holding the trolley from Mr. Rogers. Okay, so I'm getting my file list. I think I know the issue that I'm having. This is just a limitation of the replace function that I'm using. It only replaces the first instance, and I really thought these are separated by commas, right? So what we need to do first is we need to say file, we'll call it file array. I hate doing that, but we'll do it. So var file array equals file list dot split. And we're going to split it on those commas. And then that explains entirely why this isn't working. So we're going to take file array and now I think our clean list will look. In fact, I'm going to not even write out the original list, but I think that solves our problem. And then I also need to make sure that like that DS store isn't coming through, but we'll get that here in a second. So, okay, gone. Whoop. Go again and again. Sound list. What? What are you talking about? File list dot split is not a function. I think you're lying to me. I think it is. I think it is a function. What if I think it is, and you're wrong? I need a debugger for the debugger. Okay, so file list dot split. What does it think it is? Isn't there like a... Can I do something like file list type? And then you can do like file list dot type of, or maybe it's type of file list. Is that it? No, I don't think that's it either. Of. Yeah, that's what Karthik, thank you. I thought I was close. Type of, stop lowercasing me. File list. Let's find out what it is. Because that's annoying. So sound list type of is not defined. It is type of lowercase. Seems weird. Okay. I just want to know what that's returning to me. I actually don't know. Sound list. Object. Okay, so it's an object. That's, I don't know that necessarily helps me, but that means split isn't going to work. It is weird to me though that when I just write out file list, yeah. Here, let I have to unmaximize my screen. Yeah, obviously I can't use array functions on an object, but this is this can come down a little bit so you guys can see that now. Okay, so I thought it was just a comma delimited list it was giving me. So I have all of these file types coming through. What was it doing? Did it still have the file names on them? Well, I haven't seen that recently because we're trying to split. So let's see what that gets us. Sound list. That gives me my link, which is great. And I'm getting, doesn't it certainly seem like I'm getting the file extension still? I thought that's what that did. It's just replacing that first one, which is what replace does. Actually, do I have a file called !helicopter? I should probably check that too. GitHub. Yeah, I do have one called helicopter01. Do I still have the one called helicopter? Nope. So I'll just rename this because that's going to annoy me. Thank you, Karthik, for being here. Hopefully, keep me posted on when that box comes through. W. Giorgio, I'm not looping over it yet, where I was, but we'll get to that in a second. Thank you for being here, Karthik. Okay, so the other stuff that we need to figure out here is how do we get the appropriate list? Because here's what I'm gonna let's go back. Let's take a look at Airtable API, and we're going to go look at how we insert records into that table that we created. So if I look at Jeff Blankenburg chat, and we have a sound effects table, what I want to do is create records. I want to create a bunch of them. Can I do a delete star? Of up to 10 record IDs to delete. Can I create records? It doesn't say, oh, up to 10 record objects. So I'm going to have to do these 10 at a time? Ugh. I don't love that. How do I want to do this? An array of up to 10 record objects, but if I have 1,000, I just want to pump a ton in there. It seems like what I probably want to do is create a file, which we did something like that over here in the create, the sound effect create. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be, I could loop it. I'm just wondering, I won't need to update this regularly. I just need to get that data there once. And then I can incrementally, every time we add a new one, just modify. I don't think that I need to run through 1,000 records every time that we do something. So I'm trying to avoid that. And I'm thinking of a way that I might be able to just create a file. This is like local node is not something I'm an expert in, even slightly. And so let's go back. We're in the reader, but what we want, let's see if we go to the top of this page, if there's like a, I just want to create a text file. How how do I want to do this? I'm already getting us, if we look at the file list, like I'm able to grab the directory and have all the files happen here. This gets me the list of files as an object. And I want to be able to here, we're gonna do some Google foo because this is how I would do it. How do I write a text file in Node? Beautiful. So let's just take this and play, since we already have a lot of that code. So this is where I'm getting my list of files. So we still have that list of objects. And then right here, we'll just drop this. I don't need the opening line. I already have that. Stop it. FS write file. This is going to be called sound effects. And the data is going to be... let's just see what it looks like if we send in file list. And then I don't even need this. Okay, let's just see. Maybe we just worked some magic there. All right, so if we come back here and we say sound list, I get my link. I get all this stuff. Do we have a file? Soundeffects.txt, and it's alphabetized list. That's gorgeous. I need to get rid of this DS store. We can do that pretty easily. And then I need each of these. So I need to replace the commas with a line break. How do I want to do that? Isn't there like a recursive replace in JavaScript? Replace only does the first one. This is the thing that I use all the time. Split and join. This does a full replace on all of it. So, okay, so the thing that we need to do now, if we go back to our bot, is to do, so we're writing the file, that's great, but the first thing that we need to do is a file list. I could regex, but man, do I hate regular expressions, Gold Zulu. I end up just digging myself a huge hole. So we're going to do... Well, I can't do a split, though. So the first thing I need to do is a file list equals json.stringify file list. That gets me my long string of stuff. Then after that, I'm going to do a split. And we're going to split on the comma. And then we're going to do a join on a line break. I don't know if it'll let me do that, but we'll see. And then we're going to do a replace. What was that? What was that first item? .ds store. I don't want that. So we're going to take that, replace it with nothing. Actually, I should probably do this earlier. Let's do the replace instantly so that we do these in the right order. So this, I want the comma still there because I want the comma to go away too. Then I'm going to split on the commas. Then I'm going to join them. Where did I go? This is why I go full screen and why you guys can't always see the terminal is because I get so limited here. Let's see if we can play with our boxes a little bit. What if I just do, can I take this box and put it somewhere else? No. I just need more code real estate. Okay, so I have file list now. The string.replace, create my voice. It only does it on the first instance that it finds. To be able to replace all of the commas, you have to do something like the split join, because replace, it'll find the first instance of a comma and replace it with the /n and then stop. It doesn't iterate through the entire file. It just finds the first one. Is that what the G does? That's interesting. We'll give that a try here in a second also. I want to see what that does. I take a very let's try approach to doing all of this. So if I come back in here, this isn't even the right browser. What am I doing? I got my line breaks in now. Everything's in quotes? What? Okay, so we have a couple more pieces that we need to get rid of. Once we get our JSON, yeah, so I need to I wonder if could I just do could we just do this? Would this work? File list equals file list dot toString. Can I do that? Would that get me what I want also? Obviously, it's not going to do the line breaks or any of that stuff, but it might give me a cleaner string that I'm looking for. Oh, what do we want to do here? Sound list. All right, Kevin, thank you for being here. Enjoy your call. And now we get, if I look at my sound effects file, that just got me my string. So let's do that, and then we'll do the replace. Oh, I didn't even see this before. Oh, this is the thing that I was typing. Okay. So what did W. Giorgio just post? Oh yeah, I did see this. I don't know the answer. I saw this on Twitter. Joe Moyo might actually know the answer to that, but I don't think he's had a chance to reply yet. Okay, so we're gonna replace DS store with a period, and then we're gonna do our split and join. Let's see what that gets us. There's a lot of things in software development that I'm very confident about. This is not one of them. Anytime I'm doing something new, I feel like I have to do a lot of trial and error just to see what I'm going to get. So sound effects now didn't do anything. Let's close that. Do I need to delete the file every time? Is it not writing to it? No, it was writing to it, wasn't it? Oh, because that. Dumb. That would be a good time for a sound effect of me sucking, but we'll get there. Okay, so my file looks like that. Boy, that's starting to get really pretty. No extra characters, no DS store. Okay, so now I just need to get rid of those MP3s, and we're gonna do that. Well, let's try the syntax you guys gave me, and we'll use that instead. So for this, you gave me this thing here. Just slap this on the end. And then, yeah. Nope. I just want to replace it with nothing. Okay. No. Why? Okay. Last time. Maybe we'll get something really pretty this time. Sound list. Because if I can get a list like that, then we can... Oh, it's looking good. It's looking real good. Oh my goodness. Okay, we have all the values. So check this out. Now we can take this, just like that, and we can go over to here, to our Airtable. Get rid of Angry Cat. Nope, that's the view. I want to go to the actual table, which is here. And I'm just going to paste. Add 1,029 more records, expand the table. Boom! We did some magic, people. Okay, so now we have that table created, which means any of you, when you click on that link that I just sent you, when you click on this link, you should be able to see a list of all the commands, and you should also be able to sort them. You can hit the search box, and you could search for one. So if I type for angry, I can see that it's only highlighting them. I thought it would filter them down, but you can see that I have some sound effects that say angry on them. Angry meow, angry screech. There you go. So W. Giorgio just did it. He just used a sound effect we haven't used before. Man, that is exciting stuff. Okay, so that was our quick dump of data. That's step one. Now, as we add new sound effects, we are going to need the ability to add things to this list. It might also be cool to do something like this. I just increase scope. You guys will learn this about me as you watch me develop, is that like I have a task, I have a thing that I need to do, which is like, let's make the sound effects work and let's update the list. And instantly, the moment I create a database, I'm like, oh, but we should keep track of how often they get played. And so let's do that too. All right, so we're going to do a number. We're going to do an integer. Gorilla 01. It just sounded like him kind of lumbering through the forest. The default value is going to be 0. The format, great. So then if I say 0 here, I just drag this all the way down. Can I do that? Let's go all the way to the end. Gold Zulu wants a refund. So that's another thing for us to keep in mind is like, if that was pretty lame, do we just get rid of some of these? Because my goal originally was like, a lot of people that are here watching me are people that are building stuff for Alexa. And so I went and got all the sound effects that you can use from the Alexa sound library. And I thought, well, if they know any of them, they could use them. So it pains me a little bit to like get rid of them. But at the same time, I don't know. I feel like we probably don't need this upvote and downvote. Yeah, that would be pretty cool. Okay, so this is stuff. This is good stuff. So I created this. I don't need this anymore. Don't save. I created a thing called things I'm actively working on, and these are like projects that I'm currently in the process of. Audio file creation is still something we're doing. Audio file approval, this is another thing that I'm going to rely on you, moderators and VIPs to be able to handle. That's where that can approve came from. We should do audio voting. So we could upvote and downvote stuff, and if they get too high or low, then I don't know. That seems like a huge economy of scale to manage and keep track of all of the upvotes and downvotes. And then how do we like? Does that limit something from being used if it's been downvoted or upvoted? I don't know. We'll put a question mark on that. But we have the ability to create and approve, and now we have this new thing that's going to be track audio file usage. So I think that's pretty easy for us to do. Because what we're going to do in the bot is we are now writing. I don't need to do the file stuff anymore. This was just temporary. So we're going to get rid of this temporarily in case I ever need it again. I have my file list. I actually don't need to do any of this now. Like we could get rid of all of this stuff and come down to where it just says client say, and it's always just going to respond with a link to that list. I think, if I could do my commenting right. So it doesn't have to do anything. Upvoted ones cost more. I think downvoted ones should cost more. But that's an interesting idea, Gold Zulu. Let's add this. Popular sounds cost more. I don't know how I do that with the economy either, because I kind of have to hard code the rewards in. So maybe we could have different rewards that are like a level 1, a level 2, a level 3 sound. And level 3 sounds are like the new ones, no one's ever used them before. Those are 50. And then level 2 sounds, once they've achieved a certain number of usage maybe, then the price goes up on them. And I'd have to have different rewards for different levels, because those basically have to be hard coded in. So we'll add it to our list of things we're working on. We may never get to it, but at least it's here on the list. But you can see I'm working on a whole bunch of stuff, and I need to do a better job of monitoring and managing my list of my queue of work. I have a tool that I use. It is called Todoist, and I can open this here, and you can see that I have things. But a lot of these are old and out of date, like since March, and so I really need to go through and do a better job of managing my tasks that I want to take care of. So this should be an easy step. I think. Is it going to be an easy step? Can I update that record easily? Because I think if I go into the Airtable API, which is here, and I look at the sound effects table and I want to update a record. I think that I have to tell them the ID of that record, but I don't know it. So that's a little bit annoying, because I would love to be able to say, update the record where the name is Angry Cat or whatever. How am I going to do this? I'll have to retrieve a record first. And then get its record ID and then make the update. Maybe we'll do that right now. So if we go back into our bot, the first thing that I want to do, and I have this HTTP GET function I use, and this is where it's just going to get me a thing from Airtable. I tell it what table. Do I tell it what table? I do. I tell it what table to go to. But this is just going to get me all of the records from that table. I don't really want to get all of them. Oh, I have a filter too, so I can add in a filter. Perfect. Okay, so that'll do what I want. So we can say I'm still going to have to make the call, but at least I have this option. So in here, where we were doing all of this other stuff, not sound list. Sound list is done. We're done with sound list. Now we want to do the actual command. So this is where the first thing I do is say, did they pay for it? If they paid for it, then I want to go read the directory. Why am I reading the directory? Oh, because I have to get a list of the commands that are available. If I find a command that matches the command that you gave, then I play the sound. Otherwise, I do nothing. So if file doesn't equal under file, we're going to have to make this a little more elaborate here. So we'll, this is where we play the sound, but then we can also shoot off some commands. So the first thing is going to be var sound ID equals await HTTP get. I really need to rename this too, because what I mean is Airtable get. That's just the old naming that I've kept around. So sound ID equals HTTP get, and the base is going to be, what do I call this? Base data. I don't actually think that's the one that I want, but it's a start. So base data goes here. I didn't want all that, but this is actually a good starter kit, I guess. Okay, name, that's all good. The table, where are we actually storing this stuff? We should look at that. So this is my chat. Let's go look at, since we're in the chat base, the base ID for this is this. And we're going to go look at my pretty headphones for just a moment while I go add a file to my keys record, which is, this is where I keep track of all of my like special data. Come on, where is it? There it is. And so we're going to have another one called Airtable base chat. And so in my, I can close the keys file now and we can come back to looking at code. Okay, so all I did was I changed this out. I created a new base ID called chat. I can even show you where it came from. It's this value right here. Utah Gimme 2 is here today. Good morning, Ryan. How are you? I am in the process of building a ridiculous chatbot economy system thing, and we're trying to do some cool stuff. So I'm assuming you probably have a few, but Ryan, if you want to give this a try, if you go to chat and you choose, down here at the bottom, we have blanking points. They're right below the chat box. We have this thing called play a sound effect. And if you choose this, and then you choose something like 2319,
2319! We have a 2319!
it plays sound effects on the stream. So this is something that you can actually do. This is a way for you to contribute and play inside the chat. So if you want a list, you can say !sound list, and it'll give you a link to go see the list of sounds that are available. There's a long, long list, and so you just need to grab that link, and you can go filter it and look through it. But all of the sounds are listed there in that big view, and then you can cash in your points. You can say, play a sound effect, and then you just put ! and whatever the words are that you find in that table. That's the whole list of commands. So what I'm in the process of doing right now is keeping track of when sound effects actually get played. And so in order to do that, I need to make a call out where I'm calling chat, and is disabled is not a thing, although maybe it should be. No, is disabled is not going to be a thing. You got to use the ! Ryan. I'm sorry, I just wasted 100 of your points. Let me see if I can, we just talked about this. Maybe I can refund that. If we go back in here to mod view, and we look at request queue. There you go. Nice wolf. Play a sound effect. We're going to do the one that Ryan didn't work, and we're going to reject it. So you get your points back. We're going to mark this is complete, and this is complete, and this is complete. All of these Oh, Gold Zulu. We didn't like the gorilla one. I'm going to give you your points back. The sheep was good. And I'll give you the points back for that too, because you only need to do it when you want to play a sound effect. You don't need to do it to get the sound list or whatever. So lots and lots of cool things in there. I had a hydrate request that I still owe Ryan as well. I'm going to reject this because I did not bring any water with me this morning. But you guys, get your monies back, your blanking points. Okay, so I've got to get rid of this is disabled as false, and I want to check that the name is the name that the sound effect you're looking for. And of course it'll exist because I've already checked that. And then my table is going to be sound effect. Is that what we called it? Sound effects? No, that can't be. It's got to be sound effect. Okay, so sound effect it is. That gets me my sound ID, kind of. That gets me the whole record, really. And so then I need to, let's do sound record. Is that. And then once I get that, then I can say var sound ID equals sound record 0 dot fields. Oh yeah, the T-Rex. So I probably want to just be able to see. I think I have a formula. Can I see record ID just automatically? No. So I got to do formula. They're always changing things here at Airtable, and I'm never sure if I can just pull that thing in or not. Greg Levenhagen, you will have to spend channel points in order to make a T-Rex roar. I was just telling Ryan about that, but if you come down here to your blanking points, let me show it on my browser. Go down to your blanket points, and one of the options you can choose is to play a sound effect. And if you cash in 100 blanket points, then you can use a command. And if you want to see the list of commands, and I'll let my mods tell people this as well, but if you do sound list, it gives you a list that you can go find all of the commands that are available. Have a plan didn't work? Why didn't have a plan work? There you go, Greg. Nice work. What's have a plan? What does that even sound like? Have a plan. Oh, it's I have a plan. You forgot the I.
I have a plan.
There you go. That is Star-Lord talking about how he has a plan from Guardians of the Galaxy. Okay. One of the other things that we're going to be working on also is the ability for you guys to add and contribute more sound effects to the library. And I have the first part of that built, but I have not finished it. And that is something that we will have to get really working. I believe Trap is in there. I believe if we go look at the list, is it just it might just be Trap though. T-Rex Trap. No, I don't have Trap. Is it it's a Trap? Do I have it under I? To find it's. No, I don't have It's a Trap in there. Thanks for coming, Ryan. Good to see you, man. Let's look for the word trap. Because I thought that was one for sure. I thought I'd already gotten in here. It looks like no. All right. So Greg, we're gonna have. Is it Greg that asked for it? Yeah, Greg. We're gonna have a way to add sound effects, and in fact, we can do it. Like we can add audio from YouTube right now. I shouldn't say that. It doesn't actually work. What works is that you can go tell me to download a YouTube video. And I will go grab that YouTube video and pull up to 5 seconds of audio out of it, depending on what you indicate, and then we'll create a new sound effect based on that. So that'll be a way for you guys to contribute, but that's not built yet. So let's get back to this. Fields, we want to call this record ID. Save it. Got it. Okay, cool. So I need that record ID. So that's the thing that we're going to get. So record ID is the thing that I really care about. And then I have to make yet another call to update the count on that thing. So this is where we'll go back to our API and we'll do an update record. We just want the single example like so. And I'm going to copy that. No, I'm not going to. I don't love their syntax. I don't love it. I've done this myself. Let's go find a file that I've worked on, like this one. Find an update and see how I do this. This is perfect. So we'll take my syntax that I've written that I prefer, and we're going to drop that right here. So what this gives me, and I want to make sure Airtable is referred to properly. It is. So this is the API key. This is the base chat. Then I have my record where I'm getting a promise. The Airtable thing is called sound effect. Let's not even do the sound ID. We can just take this like this. Chop that out. This is going to be my record ID. And then this is going to be, what did I call it? Count? What do we call that? Count. Let's be more specific. Let's call this view play count. Okay, so we have play count. That's going to be this play count. And we're going to just add 1 to whatever that value is. This will have to become play count here. And I think that's good. So I can get rid of this sound ID rec thing. Boy, this would be awesome if it just worked on the first try, wouldn't it? Okay, so what we've done is we've determined that the file exists. We play the sound, and then while the sound's playing, we're going to go ahead and get the record ID and update its play count by 1. All right, let's see if we get that, if it actually works. So if I come over here and let's find a good one. We'll do 2319. That's one of my favorites. I just want to have this sitting here, and then I'm going to come into my chat and I'm going to say 2319. That does not work. I have to do this too. 2319.
2319! We have a 2319!
Sound effect played, but I did break something. Name is not defined. Where is name? Name is here. And that's because it's not called name. It's called... Where do I add on the MP3? I have this file name here. Oh, I see what I'm doing. I see. Okay. So my file name here, the thing that comes out of this is going to have an MP3 on it, and I just need to change this to file.replace MP3. We're just getting rid of that MP3 sound, the text in there. It didn't. It couldn't have actually updated, right? That couldn't have worked. No. Okay, so let's go here. Give that one more go. And see if we can get that to work. So now if I do this.
2319! We have a 2319!
Still have an error. An API is required to connect to Airtable. No kidding. Oh, because I copied it from other code. So this just needs to be keys. Copy and paste is the bane of my existence, but also glorious. Okay. Now I think we're ready. I'm just going to keep blasting you guys with 2319.
We have a 2319!
Did it update? Did not. Still an error. Cannot read property fields. Okay, I made some assumptions. Let's do it. Sound record. Okay.
2319! We have a 2319!
.records. I knew it. Sound record. .records 0. Sound record. .records 0. Okay, this is I don't know if it's moving too fast, trusting my memory too much. I don't know what the right answer is. I just know that I'm screwing it up.
2319! We have a 2319!
We have no error. Oh my goodness. Hallelujah. We have now incremented our play count, which means every time you guys play a sound effect, we will be able to see exactly how many times it's been played on this channel. That obviously does not include any plays that we've done prior to this one. But starting at whatever this timestamp is, 11:22 a.m. Eastern on May 20th, we are now keeping track of sound effects. And this has been a pretty good day, everybody. I'm pretty excited about this. Okay, so that is all good and working. That is now what I do for commands that are sound effects. And we're able to play the sound effects no problem. So let's talk about now the stuff that we want to be able to do. So one of the other things that's in here, and oh man, okay, so I'll have to think about that too. But so one of the things that we did on Monday was we have this sound effect command. And in here, I ask you for a command name and a YouTube ID. And then a start time and an end time. I need to find the right library. This doesn't seem to exist the way that I want it to yet. And I really need to figure this out because I don't know that I'm smart enough to do it on my own. I need somebody to have some code that I can just kind of play with. But what I've done is if you provide me all 4 of those parameters, so I do a split, and I check to see that the 4 parameters exist. And then what I do is I go out and I grab the YouTube video. So you can see in here that I have a folder called YouTube that is currently empty. But if I take this and I come in here, and we'll have to put some price on this at some point also, but if I do sound effect, Bob Ross, for example, and then let's go to YouTube. Do we have a video? This is my channel. If we go to my YouTube channel, we can find that Bob Ross clip that's just a few seconds long. This one here, it's 51 seconds long. So we get the YouTube ID. That's just this little chunk right here. And we come back to Twitch, and I say Bob Ross, and then that, and then like 00, because I don't know what the times are, and I'm not using them at all yet. But just by doing this, let's not have that video play. God, I looked ridiculous that day. Okay, so if I come back into the chat, and I do this, sound effect Bob Ross, the YouTube ID, and those 2 values, and I hit enter, what you'll see here is that I now have in my YouTube folder a file called Bob Ross, and I've pulled the MP4 down. So if we go look in my actual directory, like here, GitHub, let's close that sound effects file down. It's too big. But there's a folder called YouTube, and in here is a MP4 file, and if I open this up, you can see that we have the video. Like, it pulled it down for me. So the thing that I haven't done yet is that I haven't figured out how to rip the audio out of that file and save it as an MP3, and then of course delete the video because I don't actually care to keep the video; those are too big. But that all seems like a ton of heavy lifting that I don't want to do. What I really want is a library where I can say, go to YouTube and get me an MP3 file that's no longer than 5 seconds between time A and time B. And I want that to all happen somewhere else and then bring it down. Right now what I have to do is pull the video file down. Then I'm going to have to use another library to figure out how to rip out the audio. between two timestamps. And then I have to save that audio file to my new sound effects folder. I have to delete the video file because I don't want that. But what really stinks about this is that if I want 5 seconds of a video, I still have to go get the whole video. And then I have to parse it. And so it can take time. So that's why sound effects, at least the way that I'm thinking about how this works now, are not going to be live immediately. What's going to have to happen is there's going to be some processing that happens. The video has to come down. I have to be able to process that video and transform it into an MP3. And then once that's ready, I need my mods and my VIPs to be able to, someone needs to approve it. Because I don't want us to just let any kind of sound effects in, right? So then I have to figure out a way for mods to be able to see a message, click on a link, listen to a sound, and say, yeah, that's legit. Let's do that. Thank you, W. Giorgio, for coming. Good to see you, man. Yeah, I need to figure all of that stuff out yet. But I have the pieces here. A lot of this is whoa. Let's take a look at what I've built already. So that sound effect command works. Did I build that is me function? Did I end up doing that? What's going on? Find is. No, I did not do that. It was just the can approve function, right? That's the one. This one here. Let's do. If we look at our approve, this is where you come in and I actually try to do all the parsing and stuff, but I wasn't successful. So it doesn't work yet, but I do have another command called rename. And this is for the times where we actually feel like we made a mistake, like something happened or maybe there was a typo and we want to rename a sound effect to be something better. This all works right now. So I could take... like I could take here, if I say rename 2319 to 2020 or 2320. I think that's all I need to do. Let's just try that. Yeah, so now if I say as a sound effect 2319, 2320.
2319! We have a 2319!
So what it actually did behind the scenes is it renamed the file. Oh, I have a. Oh, that's gonna break. Because I'll have to fix that too. So let me do that again. Rename 2320 to 2319, and that renames the file for me. So we'll have to really limit the ability for people to do renaming, but that allows us to rename a sound effect. So this is again going to be an admin style function. And I think I have can approve on there. We're not letting anyone rename things. But if you're an admin, which is a VIP or a moderator, then you can do that stuff. You can rename the sound effects. But the thing that this doesn't do is the thing that's down here. So maybe I should have... That doesn't save me a lot of code. I'll just take this for now, although I feel like I should probably refactor it at some point. So this is the rename, and where do I actually do the renaming? FS rename. I'm just run and gun. So if it was successful, this is where I want to do an update to my table. So this will get me the sound record, and then I need to update the record with the new name, so we can come down here and do basically the same thing, which is this chunk here. We can say that. All of that's going to be good. The ID is going to be my sound record, but instead of updating play count, what we're going to do is update name, and the field is not going to be this. It's going to be params 1. Boy, that would be awesome if that worked, right? Because then we're at least keeping track of that stuff and updating the database also. Okay, let's see. Whoop, I broke something. Thoroughly. Await is only valid in an async function. How is that the first time I'm encountering? Oh, I see. Because this. How did that not break on the other one? Oh, because I had the... No, that's my promise right there. So where... What? Why would the one work and the other one doesn't work? Because this... I think it's that. I think it's that. Let's see. Yep, that was it. Okay, so if I do rename now, 2319 to 2320, did not like that. Can't read property replace of undefined on 132. Because here it's not called file. Here it's called params 0. Okay. But now is everything out of sync? Did I still renamed the file. So we're back. Let's do the same command. To 2320. No errors, that's always a good sign. If we look in our database now, 2320, oh yeah. All right, so then we can flip it back. So now our records are staying in sync, which is wonderful. So I can come back to the chat, getting lost in all of my stuff. And we could say rename 2320 to 2319. Done. Okay, so that is all working as expected. We're in a good place, and now we just need to think about how the rest of this is really going to work. How are we going to get those audio files? Work calls. Ugh. Yeah, we should find a good sound effect for that. I'm sure there's something from Office Space or something like that, maybe. So our sound list is working. I also am going to have to start breaking some of this code out into other places. This file's starting to get a little unwieldy. This is when we play the sound effect. All of that's good. Yeah, our next step is really to think about how we're doing these files. I'm getting the video file. Oh, Jeff Nunn. Jeff Nunn did it. All right. We have an image, and that is him. Oh my goodness, that is gorgeous. Copy that image. All right, we got to do this. For those of you that don't know, I have an image on our Twitch wall, which looks like, not that, Twitch, Jeff Blankenburg. If you just go to my main channel page, there's an image down here below the video, which we don't care to watch right now, please. once everything loads, we have our happy little wall. And this, when we click on this image, it takes us to a page that has a large version of the wall behind me here. And for those of you that have 4,000 channel points or more, you can cash it in one time to be able to pick who you want to put your face on. So like Trade Last put his image here. We have a couple of others. I know like we put my Bob Ross picture on the Bob Ross figure. We have Gold Zulu there, W. Giorgio, Karthik. So this is like a special status. It gives you opportunity to be permanently stored on this wall. But I need Jeff Nunn to tell me where he wants to go. And in the meantime, I'm going to open up Photoshop and to get that file rolling. So let's open. It's right here, actually. Cancel. And let's at least get his face in here. Trim that out. Man, that's a great picture of you. So we're just going to trim some faces out of an image. Oh. That is the worst part of this tool, is if you make a mistake, you have to start over. It's good to be deliberate. Jeff Nunn, where am I going to put your face? Where do you want this to go? Should we get all that ear in there? Hair is always challenging. Do I have a Star-Lord? I do have a Star-Lord, but he's not on the wall. You've gotta dive in and take a look at the wall and see what's in there, because there's no way I could possibly have a wall with all of the ones that I have. There's like 400 of them, so I had to pick a few. And the ones that are behind me are primarily focused on television shows and video games and stuff like that. And I've lost the ending. There we go. Your head is gone. So we can get rid of this layer. These are our options, man. Right now I have the entire lineup from the show The Umbrella Academy, which is on Netflix. If you guys haven't watched that, it's fantastic. The guy with the bat, this guy here, that is Negan from Walking Dead. That seems like a perfect Jeff Nunn character. You talking about this guy? I want to make sure I get it right, Jeff. The guy covered in blood? Okay. Boom. Transform, scale. Do something like that. Oh yeah, it was a woman's name. Let's see if Alexa knows that. Alexa, what is the name of Negan's bat in The Walking Dead?
Here's something I found on the web. According to LatTimes.com,
Lucille, she knew it.
The barbaric beating by Negan's bat, named Lucille, came
Alexa,
just as drops of
stop. Lucille is the name. Always? I hate that these pop up every day as I'm doing a stream. All right, so that gives me, we can save that right there. And then I need to create a folder for you. JB Nunn. And that goes inside the folder. And then I'm going to take these two, copy them, put them inside your folder also. And then I can take those elements and put them right beneath you. JB Nunn. And I'll even give you a font size boost because your name's not as long as mine. Okay. So there we go. That's been saved. Now I need to do an export. And we'll just do that on the desktop. That's fine. Replace it. Then we'll jump up here to S3. replace the one that's online so that you can see your pretty face anytime you want on top of Negan's body holding Lucille. This feels like a good day. This was a good stream today. We got a lot done. Man, we really did get a lot of stuff done. So I'm going to choose upload. We're going to add our file from the desktop. And we're going to next it. We have to say it's publicly accessible. Next, upload. Okay, Jeff, that image will be up there in just a minute. Create my voice. If you get your 4,000 points, cash them in. I'd be happy to put your face on the wall too. But it's kind of a fun way to show who's here a lot. And with all these figurines behind me, I figured that was a fun thing to do. Jeff Nunn, thank you, man. Thanks for being here. You've always been a big cheerleader of the stuff that I try to do here and a good teammate. So I'm happy you're up there, man. Okay, let's see if we can't make any more progress on at least converting. Man, I don't know how I'm going to do this. I feel like there's a library that I'm not aware of that I need. And this is the approve process. So I guess the first thing that we want to do with getting these videos down. So this is the sound effect command. And that's what saves the file. But I kind of want to know when it's done. I wonder if there's a way for me to know. If I go look at YTDL core, let's go look at the code for that and see, where's my browser? You don't need to be maximized. Why are you here? Get out of my workflow. Okay, so this, this is the thing that I'm using to pull the video down, and this works so nicely. But I wonder if there's a way for me to know, like there's no callback or anything. And this does offer a begin. Like this is so close to what I really need. But it doesn't have an end. Well, that was something else we wanted to do, is validate a URL. Returns true if it's able to parse out a valid video ID. So, oh, I see. These are just local functions. I thought this would actually tell me whether or not it was actually valid. Returns true if the given string satisfies YouTube's ID format. I guess that's a start. That's a start. And this gets us on the way to. So I'm not going to be able to do the audio stuff today, like to be able to actually convert to MP3s and all that stuff. But we can at least get people on the right path. So when they come in here, they say sound effect, and they need to indicate a command name, a YouTube ID, a start name, and an end time. So let's do some conditional error messaging. If command name dot length is greater than, what should we say, greater than 10? What's the longest command we'd want to have? 10? 15? Let's do 15. I can always change it. If command length is greater than 15, then I want to say, how do we want to do this? Client.say target at username, no, at context, at username, command name was too long. Must be less than 15 characters. Please use the format sound effect command YouTube ID start time Okay, so that's going to be kind of like one of my default error messages is if your command name.length is too long. And so I could say, so then we'll also have a value that is like should get video, should download. And right now it equals false. I need a reason for it to be true. No, I don't. I want it to be true. I need a reason for it to be false. So we're going to say should download false. Let's make this more readable. I'm being irresponsible. Else if second one is the YouTube ID. This is the thing that I can use, so I should be able to say params. No, command name isn't even really what I wanted. I wanted params 0. Glad I caught that. Okay, params 1. This is the YouTube ID. Dot validate ID. Do I do YouTube? YouTube dot validate ID params 1. And this one's going to be the same idea, right? We're just going to give a different error message. And this one's going to be false, and it's going to be invalid YouTube ID. I wonder if I could also use their parsing commands, because they have like validate URL, get URL video ID. So if they were to paste in the whole URL for, I'm going to just trust that you guys are smart. Invalid YouTube ID, please use the format, and then I'll just keep that error there. Then we'll do one more. And this gives me a more specific rules here. So now I could just say should download. And this, if it was typed properly, download, should download. Okay, if should download. If those two things are true, then we're good. I don't need to check for the number of parameters. Now I'm checking that another way. Let's get rid of my Bob Ross file and try that again. Delete it. See what we get this time. And in here we'll have to say something like, video has been queued for approval. Thanks. Okay. So I still don't know how do I alert mods that a video is ready for approval? I don't know the answer to that question. We'll get there. All right, 8 minutes. 8 minutes, and we're testing. And we're going. Okay, so run our bot. Let's find all the bugs I created. So now if I say, I got to go get that sound effect ID. I'm gonna break it. Like I want to purposely ruin these two. So we're gonna come in here and we're gonna say sound effect. And the first thing I want it to do is Bob Ross. Bob Ross. That's 14. Bob Ross. And then 0 and then 0. Command name is too long, must be less than 50 characters. Please use the format exclamation sound effect, command name, YouTube ID, start time, end time. Cool, okay. So then let's do it the other way. Copy that. And this will just become Bob Ross now. But this thing, I'm going to add like a bunch of other characters at the end. Chat. Video's been queued for approval. Well, I don't know what that validator's doing then. And I also don't know what video it's getting. Found one. Wow, that's weird. Let's see what we got. Maybe it's doing some weird parsing on the other side. It's doing parsing. Wow.
Hello. Welcome to my...
Because it got the right video, even though I added a bunch of extra stuff to it. Okay. So that's great. So I don't ever know when so let's try it the other way. Let's try Gold Zulu. I don't know what that is. That sounds pretty awesome though. Let's try this again. Bob Ross, and let's get rid of some characters. See what that does. What? Yeah, no kidding it can't open it because there's no bytes in it. And there's nothing there. Okay, so that validator function, whatever I was trying to use there, that doesn't actually do anything. Returns true if the given string satisfies YouTube's ID format. I guess I'm just making sure that, like, they probably have special characters and stuff maybe that you can not put in them. Maybe it's looking at that. Let's go look at the actual code. That sounds like fun. Validate ID. So let's go to the GitHub. Go in here. It's probably under util. Let's just look in here. Validate ID. I don't see anything in there that does anything. That doesn't seem like a very useful function. All right, so let's never mind that. I feel like I would really like to know that there's a valid URL. What if I go to YouTube and I do something like this? It trimmed it down? What kind of voodoo is this?
Hello, welcome to my show. If you're a first-time viewer here, what we like to do is spend our time painting.
They don't give me a 404, they just give me a video unavailable. Also very strange, but they're trimming it down to a certain number of characters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So let's just at least do that. We can say dot length doesn't equal 11. That'll at least keep us from putting a bunch of weird stuff in there. At least you're specifying 11 characters. That should at least make me feel better about this process. So okay, so we're able to go get a video. We get some errors if you give me bad data. We'll have additional errors for timestamp stuff, like the first timestamp needs to come after the second timestamp. But I still need to figure out how to do all of that, and we are at time for today. So I think we're going to have to call it quits. I think that's going to have to be it for now. But we've made some really, really good progress, and I'm pretty excited about where we are. So we'll continue on this. There's a high likelihood that I'm going to be streaming again tomorrow afternoon. I don't know exactly when yet, but we will make that happen. But I'm going to spend some time tomorrow afternoon working on this some more, because I want to find an opportunity to work on it every day, and I just don't get that time when it's only Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So thank you guys all for tuning in, and as always, this is a pleasure. I'm flattered that you guys continue to show up and participate and play, but I will see you all very, very soon, including tomorrow.